This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm waiting for Christopher Crawford to turn on his camera to show me what he's wearing.
So here's the thing. I don't know if it lets you. I'm going to have to exit and come back.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, the Mariners unfortunately lose this one. The worry meter is growing. There's lots of things to talk about from tonight's game. You get what seems like kind of a bounce back effort offensively. You get an ejection from the manager that seems to have worked in terms of just getting his guys fired up. Seemed a little premeditated for my liking, but we'll see as Christopher Crawford comes in. I'm going to add him to the stream, and it's Julio and Randy, a t-shirt that I really like.
Isn't this the best shirt you've ever seen in your entire life?
Well, if Randy didn't have one of the worst at-bats of the game in the big spot, it would have been a lot better.
The timing is nothing short of predominant, but my friend Owen made this shirt, and I promised I would wear it as soon as I got it.
That's
Came
cool.
in today. It's very reminiscent of like the 1990s.
Yes,
like
it is.
shirts that you would get on one of those things. So,
yeah.
I just wanted to shout that guy out.
Cool.
Okay.
Bad baseball game.
Holy crap.
On a cracker?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You see this desk lowering? That's the Mariners playoff odds just going.
Jesus Christ. All right. Vibes were weird from the start today. Lots of reports about a team meeting, them not coming out for player availabilities like their normal time. Wasn't a players only meeting because there was no coaches either that were available. So it was a full team meeting. Seems like there's been a little kick in the tush, or that's just my vibe from it. Dan Wilson, of course, gets ejected from tonight's game. Maybe a little premeditated. Just kind of what I got the vibe from as well. I'm not there, obviously, so I can't really tell you what's going on, but that's just the vibe I get. And it seemed to work for the first, couple innings or so. And so much crap after that. Couple bad innings pitched from your bullpen. Caleb Turd Ferguson does not do his job. Bryan Woo, not great, not awful, like just fine today. Chris Crawford, where do you want to start? I don't even know where you want to start today.
Everything sucks. It's just a really crappy time to be a Seattle Mariner fan. And it sucks because I've always told people to be appreciative of being in these races, to be appreciative of being in these moments. I'm having a real hard time being appreciative of anything right now. It has just been such bad baseball played by your Seattle Mariners, particularly away from the friendly confines over the last 3 weeks, something like that. At least it just, the starting pitching wasn't good enough today. The bullpen wasn't good enough today. The defense really wasn't good enough today. Another crap factory from an umpire. That's not the reason the Seattle Mariners lose. No. Your best player hits his 51st homer, which is really cool. And he also doesn't come through in two huge moments, which is less cool. So I'm baseball, baby. I don't know.
I'm going to do something different today. We're not, instead of going through the big moments of the game, there's so many of them. We can kind of mention them sprinkled in. But I'm asking you, what's the issue with this team right now?
There's so many ways you can go right now. And I will say this, the offense is kind of the least of my concerns right now.
I agree.
It was really bad yesterday, to be clear, like really bad. But you had a decent little offensive day against a tough pitcher today in Drew Rasmussen. I still struggle to just completely throw away the starting pitching staff, even though the results haven't been all that great, especially away from T-Mobile Park. But the bullpen has been pretty dang crappy. Mm-hmm. The defense hasn't been good enough. It's just and again, while I don't have any specific issues with anything Dan Wilson did today, I still question whether or not this is the guy to lead the Seattle Mariners. And I'm going to question that until I see this team playing games in October, like literally in October, because season ends, I believe, September 28th. Yeah. If you are not playing on October 1st, I don't think you have the manager of the Seattle Mariners. It's pretty simple. Make the postseason, keep your job. Don't make the postseason, you got to look elsewhere, because there have been plenty of mistakes, and this is a talented enough roster. This is a talented enough roster that you should have made it. Everything is wrong with the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you know how much talent this team has, and we've seen it firsthand. I just wonder how much that is on the manager.
That's a great question.
Maybe it's a lot, honestly. Maybe if you get the right manager in here, or I said this to our group chat today. The worst thing I could say about Dan Wilson is that before this season, I didn't think baseball managers mattered at all. I think it was by far, like, and I still believe this, but it's by far the sport where the coach or the manager or the leading position on the field, it's matters the least. And before this year, I was like, it doesn't matter at all. Everything's coming from upstairs. That's just it's the manager's vibes police at this point.
Sure.
Which I think he still is. But when you have this much of a guy who's just not there, and again, I'm not even talking about his in-game decisions. Like, that's a whole nother discussion. I'm just talking about getting the team ready to play baseball. And like, they were better today than they were yesterday. I'll give them that. But that's not a high bar. Like, the Rays look like the more urgent team right now.
Yeah, that's
and you're the one in wild card 3 fighting off a Rangers team that is hotter than the sun. Okay,
winning 1-0 right now, by the way.
Yeah, like, guys, I will take it a step further than you just did. Even if they make the playoffs, I still don't think this is the right manager for the Seattle Mariners.
Not.
I really don't.
Probably not. I just think if you make the postseason, there's a much easier justification to see if, hey, Dan Wilson figures this out. Whereas if you're not in the postseason, there's no reason to see if this works. There's no reason. There are too many qualified players, or excuse me, qualified ex-players somewhat, but qualified people to take this job. But to me, today was more about the Billies and Joes more than the X's and O's. I think it was more about the players just not getting it done.
Yeah.
Certainly it was yesterday not about the players getting it done. They got to play better. The Seattle Mariners have to play a heck of a lot better if they have any chance of making the postseason.
Yeah. Let's start with the start. Bryan Woo, what'd you see?
Not good command at all. And it's not somebody who I am used to seeing poor command from. And again, the umpiring today was 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. Don't drink and drive. It was really bad today. But Woo missed on his spots a lot. And, outside of the first inning, I thought that he was solid. And I absolutely thought it was the right call to go get him after the homer. That it's not about the pitch count, guys. It's not about how many pitches he'd thrown. He'd thrown, I believe, 84. It's about how he was faring. And that ball from Junior Caminero, it looks like a scraper. That would have been out in 30 of 30 parks and had like an expected batting average of 930. It was absolutely destroyed. He just wasn't fooling the Rays today. So you don't leave in your starter there. The bullpen guys have to be a heck of a lot better after him, but Bryan Woo has to be better. Bryan Woo has been the best starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners for the overwhelming majority of 2025. Didn't help him at all today.
Nope. Maybe this is an off-season discussion, but the fact that we're starting to see this from our starting staff, a massive regression from the last couple years. And again, last couple years, you were probably the best starting staff in baseball. But the fact that you're probably an average, like in terms of results, an average starting staff at this point,
right?
How much of that is on pitching development / Pete Woodworth?
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because we are so quick to call out coaches, and I haven't heard Pete Woodworth's name mentioned at all. And to be clear, Pete Woodworth is extremely well respected in the industry, and justifiably so. but you have to question what he's doing right now. What adjustments? How is he making the Seattle Mariners better? Right? That's what I talked about all last year with Scott Service. Was Scott Service the reason the Seattle Mariners didn't make the postseason? In my opinion, absolutely not.
No.
But did Scott Service make the Seattle Mariners better?
No.
I don't think he did. And it's why you can justify an axing and make it abundantly clear here, too. I'm not calling for Pete Woodworth's job or anything of the sort. I'm asking for Pete Woodworth to do a better job, though, because clearly he has not helped this team make adjustments. The starting pitching really all year, and some of that due to injury, no question about it. Okay, what are you doing to make those guys better? That's what I want from my pitching coach. I want that guy who can take average and raise it up to the next level, can take the next level, raise it up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
I have not seen that from Pete Woodworth this year, and that's disappointing because if the Mariners had the same starting pitching results they did last year, they're running away with this division.
Yes.
And if the Seattle Mariners were just even a notch below, they're leading this division. It's been a really average staff, and that is very disappointing.
At throwing the bullpen, and then you got something that's like, guys, it's almost I don't want to say the magic has run out in terms of their eye for talent or finding diamonds in the rough with the bullpen. I just don't know. I don't know what to say. Caleb Ferguson kind of sucks, man. Like he's been bad. He's not it.
He's been really bad. And let's do our 19 commercial breaks and then talk about the other stuff because we've got to get through a lot of stuff in a fairly short amount of time.
Yeah, we do. All right, we'll be right back here in the Mariners Postcast. We're going to give some love to our sponsors and talk about the rest of this game. All right. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in.
With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. It's quick, it's easy, and honestly, it's my favorite way to follow along with football.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. The NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready to kick off with a can't-miss offer.
Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It's quick, it's easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to your Sundays.
So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. I apologize. I have Monarch Money here. I don't know if that's the right one, but we'll just we'll do that anyway. Take that one off. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone.
Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Does the heavy lifting for you, can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. It's just that simple, guys. If you need something to control all of your fantasy, you know what? Money's a fantasy at times.
Yeah,
if you need to control all of your financial assets, Monarch Money is an absolute must download.
Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Welcome back to the Mariners Postcast. Anderson Hirsch here, Chris Crawford with you. Mariners drop another one to the Rays. They lose the second straight series on the road. Another poor road trip seems like it's on the horizon here against some bad teams this time. So we're kind of checking the worry meter right now. As of now, right now, the Mariners are only 1.5 games up in the wild card, or is it 1 at this point? Because of the loss. So, guys, before, like, literally like 2 weeks ago, we were talking how close are they to the Astros? Are they going to chase down this division? Now it's like, are they even going to keep wild card 3? I don't know, man. So let's talk a little bit about the offense. Chris Crawford, what did you see today from the at-bats?
One really good inning. One really, really good inning. And you know what? As frustrated as I am not jaded enough to not notice or not note how cool it is that you have a catcher with 51 homers. I'm sorry. It's really cool. And he absolutely clobbered that thing. 51 homers is a special season. Julio going back-to-back with him was awesome. And then Jorge Polanco, who was your best player today.
Absolutely.
With that home run as well. That was absolutely shellacked. Great inning. And then some fight in the 9th inning was nice to see as well. You fall down 6-4, but not good at bats at the very end of that game. Literally the very, very end of that game. We mentioned it. Big Dumper has 2 chances to come through in the clutch, does not get the job done. He's got to be better there. Again, 51 homers is amazing. It's really, really cool. He's got a chance to break the all-time switch hitting record. The chances of breaking the Aaron Judge record they're gone. They're absolutely gone, and that sucks. Yeah. But it's really fun to see a catcher, and that was a huge moment. You're down 2-0. You have to get back into the game. Your 2 best players go back-to-back, tie the game up. You can't just ignore that. The game is over if not that moment, right? You have to be able to acknowledge that without those home runs, the Seattle Mariners get their absolute tails kicked. The rest of the offense just kind of stunk. Like, Eugenio Suarez had a couple of decent at-bats. I'm just going to get this out of the way. He's my unsung villain by a long shot.
That double needs to be
double needs to be played, and a 51-mile-per-hour little chopper, Ben Williamson, or not even a chopper, little bleeder that into the outfield. Ben Williamson makes that play and then some. Those are plays that Ben Williamson makes. You have to be an elite offensive player to make up for Eugenio Suarez's defense over the last week. And today in particular, that's a double play. That is a double play. That's bad. That's really bad. They should have played better for that not to matter as much, of course. But that's a huge moment. And as much as I joked on whatever website it was, I love Gino Suarez more than 93% of my family. But I need him to be better. I need him to be able to make that play because it cost you the baseball game today.
Yeah.
And then Randy Arozarena as well. Does not make a good play in the outfield, and it allows that second run to score, and that ends up being the reason why you lose as well. Yeah. So the left side of the defense, or whatever the heck side they call third base, shortstop.
How about just the defense overall? JP wasn't good either.
No, it's bad. It's bad. It's every aspect of this team right now stinks. And that's not hyperbolic. That's not just reactionary. You have played mediocre baseball since that red hot streak, and mediocre is being nice.
Yeah. And what you say about Eugenio Suarez's defense, look, I'm as big of an Eugenio Suarez fan as there is. Sure. I've said it multiple times. He's probably my favorite Mariner ever just because of who he is as a person and how much I've been around him. But what you say is correct. You need to be an elite offensive player to make up for his below average third base play. And he hasn't been that. Like, I get he's been playing better lately. He definitely looks a lot better than the first couple weeks of him, on the team after the trade. But it's still not good enough to overcome what this team is built on. And again, it's all aspects, right? It's easy to highlight that and then forget that this bullpen sucks right now, that the starting pitching is not elite. You still don't have a good shortstop. You don't have a good left fielder. You don't have a good right fielder. You have probably an average second baseman. Like, you don't have good defensive players very much anywhere besides center field and catcher at this point.
And this team is still built on run prevention. The Mariners are going to be an elite baseball team if they are, and there's nothing that suggests it based on the last couple of weeks. If they are very, very good at preventing runs. They have been terrible at preventing runs, not just in terms of pitching, but in terms of their defense. Outside of Cal and Julio, I don't trust anyone defensively on this baseball team right now.
By the way, Josh Naylor sucks at the plate. He's been awful for like a good 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
I
don't
know
think he's healthy. I think that back is really affecting him because
why is he playing?
Well, because the toughness, blah blah blah, bull crap, right?
What
Like,
gives you the best chance to win? Screw toughness.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying, right? And I don't have any evidence of that other than the fact that he just doesn't look right. He just doesn't look right, and it's probably somewhat back or stinger or shoulder or whatever the heck it was related.
And as Cinnabon points out, Solano's gone, so you don't have a good option there. Who was playing well every time he stepped in.
Well,
I don't know, man.
What Harry Ford has really brought this baseball team over these last 2 games, you just can't make up for. He's playing a whole heck of a lot, and he's doing a really good job.
He's doing his job, so to speak. Oh man. Anything else you want to touch on tonight? I'm beyond frustrated at this point.
I am getting to the point now, watching this team play on the road, that I am dreading watching the Seattle Mariners. And that shouldn't be. There's way too many good players here to believe that that should be the case. But I am absolutely not looking forward to tomorrow's game. I can't wait for all of you to come watch tomorrow's game with us. Thanks so much, by the way.
Yeah, if you love drinking tears, you know the place to come. When we get pissed off. Yeah. Other teams' fans, bring them here. If you know fans of other teams and they love to drink tears, bring them to this, because we'll give them some clips for you. Especially if they continue to play like they would do now. Like, oh my God.
It's Adrian Hauser tomorrow too. And
they're going to get just diced up by him.
I swear to God, if they lose to that thunder-wearing nincompoop, I am going to blow an absolute vein out of my head.
Oh, man. What is it about playing on the road? Last question. This team looks different at home. Even recently you had the crap road trip, and you had a good homestand where it's like, okay, everything's okay. And they look like crap again. What is it?
There's some mentality stuff there, I think, that can't be ignored. There's also, they're clearly comfortable playing at home. They have a comfort level that is, it's good to have that comfort level.
Yes, it is.
But they shouldn't look like somebody who is in a new country that doesn't speak the language entering an airport every time that they get to a new place. And it's just really hard to watch right now. And it's not just the pitching. It's not just the offense, which I think has been okay. It's not just the bullpen. It's not just the man. It's everything. There is a cornucopia, a smorgasbord of issues with this baseball team right now. And I am just straight up not having a good time, man.
And you lost 2 series to 2 crap baseball teams. I'm sorry. The Cleveland Guardians are not good. Yeah. The Tampa Bay Rays, the tuberculosis Rays, are not good. God, that was such a good joke in right before we went live. Yes. But come on, man. I get, okay, fine. If you look outmatched against the New York Mets, very talented team, or the Philadelphia Phillies, fine. Even the Baltimore Orioles in the last road trip, we know that team's very talented and they're better than their record suggests. But these 2 teams, are you freaking kidding me?
No, that's the thing. Losing, if they would have lost to the Padres on the road, if they would have lost to the Yankees on the road, it would be more, the concern is, this team isn't good enough to compete with those teams. Now you're talking about not being able to compete with the definition of mediocrity.
Yes.
Just mediocre baseball teams, good players. Junior Caminero is going to be a superstar. Jose Ramirez is a superstar. There are good players on those baseball teams, but you're so much better than those teams, or at least you freaking should be.
Yeah. And that's where I point to where, I think this roster is better than the Tampa Bay Rays. Call me freaking crazy.
No, you're not. And the record tells you that. They're a team that didn't even kind of try. They picked up Griffin Jacks, who actually helped the Seattle Mariners a lot not too long ago. It's just not good enough, man.
Yeah. All right, we're at the point of the season where we can't be like, all right, it's a long season or anything like that. Nope. We're at go time. So we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. I think another 4:35 game, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
that is correct.
All right, breathe. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully the Mariners can turn this around and salvage the series again. If for nothing else, just do it for Chris's t-shirt. That's such a cool t-shirt.
It's a really good t-shirt. Thank you again, Owen. That was incredibly kind of you to send that. And it brings me back to 1990s. I feel like I'm at the B&I. Anders, you're probably too young to remember.
No idea what that is.
I'll tell you after the show.
All right. Love you guys. Like the video. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.